Hello, hello, hello. Greetings. So, we are here. Obviously, we are. I know on the Mondays that I'm off, I get lots of messages asking what's up with our affirmations. But I'm here tonight and we are going to briefly talk about, if you read the hashtags carefully, you'll see what it says. Broken but whole, damaged genes cost more, which came about out of a very interesting moment I had. I think I had traveled recently and I was looking at some photos post that trip, and I realized that I had taken a photo with, I was wearing a damaged jeans, and it was a ripped jeans. And then I was in the store subsequently, and I was looking at jeans, and it really dawned on me that ripped jeans are very in. They're being worn. They're really pretty much being worn to every occasion, and it dawned on me that it is popular that the price for those jeans that are damaged are usually higher than the price for a regular or ordinary jeans. And it dawned on me, hi Vanessa, Julian, Lizzie, everybody. I'm sweating because I'm getting some other things done at the same time. Adele, Chelsea, Priya, Bibi, everybody, hi. And so the song you hear in the background is called Necessary, and it pretty much tells the story that everything that we have gone through, everything that we go through was necessary. It happens for a reason, and it's a part of our journey and who we should be. Hi, Julian, is a part of who we are becoming, and it was necessary for us. What we enjoy, what we're made to enjoy, is necessary for us to become who we are. So quickly, like the video, share the video. Let's get a few other persons joining the conversation, and I'm gonna start talking almost immediately, because sometimes we allow our situations or the things that we go through, the things we are made to endure, or experiences, even the ones that are deemed bad or negative, the ones that may have caused us hurt or whatever it does in a negative way, to kind of like determine a value for ourselves. And so because we may not have been able to accomplish something, because we may have gone through something, because we may have had a rough experience, because we may not have been born to the richest family or whatever it is, we allow those things to set limitations on us. People who can talk about the fact that they were abused as a child, they were neglected, they've grown up in poverty, and all these other similarly adverse things that happen to us or that will happen to us in our lives. Some of us suffer at the hands of people that we hold near and dear to us. All these things, our friends betray us, all sorts of things that happen to us that can be deemed as negative. And so we allow those things, it's easy for us to allow those things to redefine who we are. That we would never have a problem with ourselves, or we would not have had an issue with ourselves before we had that negative experience. Somebody might have been raped or molested or whatever the situation is, and so we allow that thing to now define who we are, how we value ourselves. And I began to think and really ponder, well, why is it that these genes that are damaged these jeans that are ripped, why is it that these particular jeans are more expensive than the jeans that are normal, regular, the ones that are we grew up accepting as, normal? But then here comes a line of jeans that are perfectly ripped, but those jeans are more expensive. And so I'm like, this is so interesting in the world of jeans. Something that is used to smear the natural look of the jeans adds value to it. But in our real life situations, when we encounter a negative situation, when we encounter a challenge, when we encounter some form of rejection or whatever, we use that to devalue who we are. And it's crazy because I wrote an entire paragraph with lots of nuggets about this, and suddenly I am unable to find where I wrote those notes. And so damaged jeans cost more. While damaged jeans cost more, what I want us to understand this week as we do our affirmation is this: the challenges and negative situations, even the things that have hurt us or have hurt you in your life, in your past, in your whatever, they are actually responsible for adding value to who you are and what you bring to the table, because those situations now increase your value. Every time your family would have rejected you, it taught you something that you didn't know before. Every time somebody closed the door on you, or took an opportunity from you that you thought you were deserving it, or even beyond thinking you were deserving it, you were deserving of it because you would have done the work, because you would have put in the necessary work, or whatever it was that was required of you for that thing to happen, for that process. But then suddenly it is taken from you. And we're guilty of reducing our worth based on how people have perceived us, based on what people have said about us, based on our own experiences. And so in our affirmations tonight and for this week, I want us to switch it up and think differently. The things that were used against us, or the things that are similarly working against us, or were designed to bring us down, or to cause us to lose our focus, or to get us off balance, are actually the things that we could use now as our experiences. Because these things are, Tony, hey buddy, these things are producing in us a quality that we didn't know we had before. The mere fact that you've survived the things you've already survived before. Hi Joshua. The things that you've survived, the mere fact that you're still here even after you have survive what you would have gone through, even after you've lived through rejection, after you've lived through a bad relationship, after you've lived through so many different things, and we become conscious of these things because they affect us. But then these are the things that are literally adding experience, and experience teaches wisdom. And so every negative thing that we have gone through, every adverse situation, every opposition that we would have faced, in that situation, we're learning a degree of wisdom and understanding that we did not know, or we did not have before. And so while the natural pair of jeans would have to be done, and the process I had to do, I did a little research about the process of getting those jeans ripped, and like, really, why they're expensive. And so I found out that any special treatment, because to get the jeans ripped, it must go through a special treatment, not the ones that you wear so much that it begins to tear. Not those. I'm talking about the ones that you buy at the store that comes ripped. It comes torn or damaged or whatever. And they're not the ones that were good and then something happened and so there's a discount and they put it in the sale rack. I'm talking about the ones that are top shelf jeans. And so I found out that any jeans or any special treatment that's done on denim are more likely done by hand. And so there's a process called sand washing, which is usually dangerous to the worker. And so the person who is preparing that jeans, who's doing the sand washing with that jeans, exposes themselves to a level of danger to prepare for us a jeans that's ripped, that doesn't look good on the outside, that doesn't look worthy of anything. Hi Melissa. It doesn't look worthy of much, but because of the work because of the process that that genes would have gone through behind the scenes, how that person was exposed to danger, some amount of danger, to create that, to do that process of the hand washing, to create that thing in the genes. And I saw a video of it, and the person was literally with their bare hands creating that rip in the genes. And so the person who's doing that is exposing themselves to a level of danger so that we could get to enjoy something that is uncommon, something that doesn't fit in with the status quo. And so, and they're also done on an old narrow woven denim instead of a large factory device. And so when we have regular jeans are made and they're produced they're mass produced, but for the ripped jeans, for the denim that's torn, for the denim that's beaten, for the denim that looks as though it has gone through something, it is instead, those are not done on a large scale. They're done individually. They get individual attention, and that is what increases the value of that ripped jeans. And so when we are to equate that to our own lives, when we equate that to our living, when we affirm ourselves with the understanding that every negative situation that I am faced with or I have been through has helped to build character in me, it has helped to build value in me. Experience teaches wisdom. And so these things that oftentimes people use to devalue us are the very things that are adding value to us. And it all depends on our perspective. How do we see it? Do we allow the negative situations? Do we allow the gossip? Do we allow what people have said about us? Do we allow the bad experiences, the rejection, the hurt, the whatever it is that we are faced with, to cause us to reduce how we see ourselves or how we value ourselves? Or do we take that and estimate it to be something that is building character in us, that is building a level of integrity in us? Because oftentimes those things will happen, and how we respond to them helps us to see how we really view ourselves. And so this week, as we continue, as we think, as we even reflect on the negative things and the negative situations that are in and around us, I want us to understand and think of it this way, that those negative situations, those negative experiences are what is responsible for adding value to you. Those things are the ones that are teaching you wisdom that you didn't know. Like I keep saying, that experience teaches wisdom. And so they're the things that are responsible for carving you, for molding you. And anybody who works with clay would understand and did know that before that object, that piece of ornament comes to its full design, oftentimes what the potter has to do is keep re-breaking it. He keeps smashing it. Every time it doesn't come out in the shape that he wants it to, he smashes it, and he stays on the wheel with the clay, with the mud, with whatever it is that's necessary to reshape that thing. And so we must understand that sometimes life will allow difficult situations to reshape us. It allows us the situations that we go through, the hurt, the rejection, the grief, all these things that we are made to endure. It is like being on the potter's wheel, where these situations are now reshaping me. It's building me into something that I didn't know I could be. It is producing a response in me that I never thought I could have, because sometimes we want to lash out, sometimes we want to respond from our emotions, sometimes we want to just call people out, like bring the energy and keep that energy level up for whatever. But I want us to understand that those situations and those experiences that we are made to endure are like the crushing of the clay on the potter's wheel. It is being used to rebuild us. It is being used to add value to us. And every time in the situation, well, I just talked about clay in the potter's hand. Mama Pat, good night. In clay in the potter's hand, every time it doesn't come out into the shape or the object that the potter wants, he will break it down. because it's a necessary part of the process. And as he breaks it down, he will keep reshaping it until it becomes that perfect shape, until it becomes that perfect ornament, that perfect object. But the only way it is able to come to that place is if the potter decides that I'm going to be subject to the breaking, I'm going to be subject to the reshaping, I'm going to be subject to the remolding of what I think I am or who I think I have become, because there's more that's ahead of me that I'm not able to see unless and until I allow myself to be teachable, I allow myself to be broken and not offended, because that brokenness that goes beyond offense adds value to what we bring. That brokenness beyond offense adds value to what we carry. And so just like the potter has to keep breaking that clay in our lives, situation happens that keeps breaking us down because it's reshaping us, it's developing in us something that we don't even know we have. You know, just like gold, every time the gold must go through that refining process. It must keep going to the fire, and every time it goes to the fire, any precious metal, there's a little blackness that keeps coming out, and the more it stays in the fire, the more ugly it looks. Hi Randy, the more ugly it looks to the natural eye, to the jeweler, the more increased the value becomes. And so instead of allowing ourselves to be defined by those negative experiences and those situations that continually keep coming up before us, may we understand that I'm broken, but I'm whole. I'm ripped, but my value is increasing. I'm going through a difficult situation with my family, my relationship, with my job, with my health, with my business, whatever it is. I may be going through that, or you may be going through that. But that experience is adding value to you. That experience is making you even more refined. That experience is making you even more worthy in terms of your value and what you carry, because those experiences are giving you wisdom. And so this week, as you continue in your affirmations, I want us to be so conscious of the fact that life is not happening to you, life is happening for you. And those negative experiences, those challenges, those situations, those stumbling blocks, those obstacles that are seemingly meant to cause you to trip and to fall are actually the things that are building strength and character in you, and it is increasing your value. And so as we continue our days, as we continue in this week, you can affirm yourselves: I might be ripped, but I'm whole. I might be broken, but I'm whole. I might be damaged according to society, but my value is immeasurable, because nobody can take the lessons and the value of life's experiences that it brings to you. And so with that, I want to say, obviously I'm sweating and I need to go and get this ear pumping. But yeah, I wanted us to understand that tonight and to affirm ourselves that regardless of what is happening to you, life is not happening to you, it is happening for you. And those experiences are building character, those experiences are building increasing your value. Experience teaches wisdom. And understand and embrace your challenges, understand and embrace your difficulties, and know that ripped jeans cost more. So if you're made to encounter a difficult situation, understand that challenge is building your value. If you're made to go through a challenge that you thought you had overcome before, there's something else in you that needs to be polished. There's something else in you that needs to be developed, and that is you being used to increase your value, your worth. And understand that you are worthy, you are enough, and your experiences don't define you. They may help to build you, but they're not the things that define you. You are worthy. Good night.